Democrats need to have a real conversation about the rampant sexual assault that actually is occurring in bathrooms related to this trans situation. And that's because, according to a 2022 survey of over 3,000 non-binary, trans, and gender fluid teens, over 37% said that they were sexually assaulted in a bathroom. And that rate is highest when they're forced to use a bathroom that identifies with their gender assigned at birth and not the gender that they identify with. So there absolutely is an epidemic of people being assaulted in bathrooms, and those people are the very people that Republicans are targeting and trying to force into conditions that are more likely to create sexual assault of kids. Now, these are just kids ages 13 to 17. More than 3,000 surveyed across the country, different economic, racial, ethnic, education level, background. And 37% said they were sexually assaulted in a restroom or changing room. And in all of the history of data, and I chased this down as far as I could, there have only been 2 cases ever of someone alleging that they were sexually assaulted by a trans person in a restroom. Donald Trump has sexually assaulted more people in changing rooms than all trans people in history that we have documentation for. So the fact that we are forcing these students into unsafe conditions, into scientifically proven unsafe conditions, we are subjecting more teenagers, this is just teens, to sexual assault. If you extrapolate 37% across the entire high school age, population in this country who identifies as trans, non-binary, or gender fluid, then you're talking about over 100,000 students every single year sexually assaulted, mostly when they're forced to use the bathroom that coincides with their gender assigned at birth and not their gender identity. Now, I don't know about you, but I would make the fact that there are 100,000 teenagers being assaulted in bathrooms because they're trans, because they're more risk, essential issue. Who would not want to stop the sexual assault of tens of thousands, as high as 100,000 teenagers in high schools across this country? And the way to do it is to support the trans community, not to force them into the shadows like we've been doing forever, which only made this problem worse. And this is hard data. This is one of the most comprehensive studies of this kind, and yet I was floored by those numbers. I was personally shocked. I was not educated enough about this. What Gavin Newsom and the rest of the Democrats are doing, like they did in 2024, by abandoning this highly vulnerable population whose murder rates are much higher than everybody else's, whose rates of sexual assault are almost half, which means that 1 out of 2 trans people will experience sexual assault in their lifetime, most of them when they're under the age of 21. And we're backing away from helping these